Welcome to Raphael's Forgotten Teachings, where we look into the enchantment of forgotten knowledge, the kind that sits quietly in old books, waiting for someone to notice it again. Raphael, the astrologer of the 19th century, left behind more than just the 7-year tests and the 9-year blessings. His writings are filled with unusual ideas, symbolic interpretations, and fragments of a worldview that feels older than the Victorian age he lived in. These teachings were once taken seriously, then slowly faded from memory, and now they sit like hidden treasures in the corners of astrology's history. Raphael believed that the universe speaks in patterns, not just through planets, but through numbers, symbols, and cycles that repeat across a lifetime. He saw astrology as a language of the soul, a way of understanding the deeper meaning behind events, emotions, and turning points. And many of his ideas, though forgotten, still carry a strange and beautiful truth. One of his lesser-known teachings was the belief that every person is born under a specific lunar imprint, a kind of emotional signature that shapes the way they respond to life. He believed the moon's position at birth doesn't just influence mood or instinct, but the entire emotional journey of the soul. To Raphael, the moon wasn't just a planet in astrology. It was the keeper of memory, the guardian of the inner world, and the guide that leads us through our lessons. He also believed that fate isn't fixed. It moves, it shifts, and it responds to the choices we make. Raphael wrote that the planets set the stage, but the soul chooses how to walk across it. He saw astrology not as a prediction, but as a map, a way of understanding the terrain of life, so we can move through it with more wisdom and less fear. Another forgotten teaching is his belief in symbolic ages, moments in life when the soul reaches a new level of understanding. He believed that certain ages carry specific meanings, not because of planetary returns, but because of the soul's own rhythm. The age of 21, the age of 35, the age of 49, and the age of 63. These weren't just numbers to him. They were thresholds, moments when the soul steps into a new chapter of its journey. Raphael also wrote about the idea of spiritual echoes, the belief that certain events in life mirror earlier ones, not by coincidence, but by design. He believed that the soul revisits themes until they're understood, that relationships, challenges, and opportunities return in new forms, each time offering a deeper lesson. This idea fits beautifully with the 7-year tests and the 9-year blessings, but it goes even further. It suggests that life itself is a spiral, not a straight line, and that every return brings us closer to who we're meant to be. One of his most unusual teachings was the belief that intuition is a form of celestial memory. He believed that when we feel something strongly, when we sense a truth without knowing why, it's because the soul remembers something the mind has forgotten. To Raphael, intuition wasn't a guess. It was a message from the deeper self, a whisper from the part of us that's connected to the divine. And perhaps the most beautiful of his forgotten ideas is this. Raphael believed that every soul has a rhythm, a pattern, and a music of its own. Astrology, in his eyes, wasn't just a system of planets and aspects. It was a way of listening to that music, of understanding the song the soul is trying to sing. When we follow that rhythm, life feels aligned. When we ignore it, life feels heavy. And when we honor it, we step into the path that was always meant for us. Raphael's forgotten teachings remind us that astrology isn't just about prediction. It's about meaning, it's about understanding the deeper patterns that shape our lives, and it's about recognizing that we're part of something larger, something ancient, and something filled with purpose. And when we look at life through this lens, everything becomes a little more magical, a little more connected, and a little more alive. Thank you for watching, and I hope you gained some insight. I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and please join me for the next episode in the Raphael Cycle series.